Well, for more analysis on the UN Security Council's resolution for a ceasefire in Gaza, joining me now is Usama Makdisi, a professor of history and Chancellor's Chair at the University of California Berkeley. Usama, how significant is this proposal by the UN Security Council?
Well, I think it's significant in the sense that it is an indication that the Israeli assault on Gaza, the military assault, the insistence on solving everything through sheer sort of outright violence and killing and terror is not going to work. And I think the US understands that. The problem, as your correspondent just noted, is that the details about this resolution are incredibly sketchy. There's no indication whatsoever as to how this is going to work on the ground. And there's no indication that Israel has accepted this resolution. There's no indication that when the ceasefire will come into effect, how, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot to see in terms of the details.
And Netanyahu's facing some significant pressure internationally to agree to a permanent ceasefire. Do you think that this shows that the international community is losing patience with Netanyahu's government?
Well, I think the international community has lost patience with Netanyahu's government, with its extremist government, months and months ago, when the international community first presented ceasefire resolutions, real ceasefire resolutions at the UN months ago. The US, of course, we know, vetoed them until March. Remember that in March of this year, a UN Security Council ceasefire resolution was in fact passed. Nothing came of it, to the killing, the slaughter, the massacre of Palestinians. This week, of course, we saw what happened in Nusayrat, in the refugee camp, in terms of the obliteration of Palestinians. None of that has stopped. The question is whether the United States will be able to put any kind of real pressure on Israel to stop this extraordinary destruction that the international community, as you say, the entire world, in fact, wants to bring to an end, except for Israel itself. So let's see.
Usama, we know Israel's been reluctant to enter into ceasefires with a very divided cabinet. How hopeful are you that the two sides might be able to come to some sort of agreement?
I'm not hopeful honestly. I mean, it's very difficult to be hopeful with a government such as Israel's right now. It's very difficult to see how who's going to put pressure on Netanyahu to actually end this extraordinarily bloody and counterproductive war that has destroyed so many Palestinian lives and that has destroyed all of Gaza, as your previous speaker was saying. It's very difficult to be optimistic about the immediate short term. But the fact that Palestinians are still there, as you can see in the pictures, the fact that they still exist, the fact that they still resist, the fact that they still want to live, is I think the only sort of glimmer of hope in this catastrophic situation.
Usama Makdisi, live from California there. Thank you.